Right, we've got a couple of drivers out there just setting laps on the circuit because they didn't get enough warm-up laps put in. That looks like Sam Faulkner is out there at the moment because he barely got any warm-up running in at all. So he is just putting in some laps. But now we turn our attention to the even closer battle in the Junior Championships. 8 points separates the two drivers in the battle for the championship. This is going to be the closest fight today without any shadow of a doubt. Tyrone Stansfield versus Harry Barlow. Just 8 points separate them in the Drivers' Championship after 7 weekends and 21 races. It is absolutely incredible just how tight it has been. Tyrone Stansfield has taken 8 victories over the course of the season. Harry Barlow has taken 5, but has been a little bit more consistent over the course of the season. And Tyrone Stansfield has had so many mechanical difficulties that have held him up through the course of the year, which means that now, as a result of all that, they are separated by just 8 points. Whoever beats the other today is going to walk away as the birelART UK Series Junior Champion, and what a showdown it's going to be between them. There's also an incredible 5-way fight for 3rd position in the Drivers' Championship as well, with Tom Massaralla, Harry Graham, Scott Huntley, Nicky Taylor and Sky Siddle, all with a mathematical chance to do it. In fact, also, technically speaking, I think Will Martin is in that hunt as well. Morgan Cole and Toby Baldry are having a friendly rivalry. Yes, it is friendly, despite the fact that they keep on trying to get on each other's wick. Morgan Cole and Toby Baldry fighting for 9th position in the Drivers' Championship as well. And we have some inter-championship battles as well. We're going to see how well Sam Cunliffe gets on after his incredible E-Plate victory success last time out at Shennington. You'll be able to spot him with that fantastic Senna helmet that he's got with the eyes of Senna burning in the back of it. Connor Brown is hoping to continue his run as the leading rookie in his season-long battle with Oliver Moy, who is catching him at the latter stages of the season, and he got his first podium last time out at Shennington. Dylan Reed has always been very strong, as too Zach Parkinson and Tom Davison, who are always making progress. George Whitehouse, too, in his first season in the championship, as out of the pits they go. Ben Gartside, Jack Rigg and Toby Gilmore in the mix as well, as is the rookie. And the rookie that's joining the ranks for this one is Vijay Ramlal. So we're looking forward to seeing how they all go. The qualifying session getting underway as we've got some good support from people on social media as people are chatting away. Good luck to Sky Siddle from Katie Edley. Thank you for watching, Katie. And Sky Siddle has a genuinely good chance to do well here, actually. She's been on the podium 3 times over the course of the season, including last time out when she was runner-up in the E-Plate at Shennington. She also finished 2nd in the final at Fulbeck, and she was also runner-up at the 2nd round of the championship in the first heat, again at Shennington. So she's got a very, very strong chance of doing a great job. And the other well-wishing message for the juniors, it comes from David Pegg going into qualifying, and that is, come on, Nicky Taylor. This is a great opportunity for Nicky to get his first win of the season. He's been on the podium several times this year, 2 seconds and 3 thirds over the course of the season, Nicky Taylor, 6th in the championship, and there is an outside chance that he could get 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. Although, as we talk about Nicky Taylor, he is one of the drivers that overshoots at Crook. So he goes off the circuit, gets it back on the road again, but everybody, look, there's several doing it. Sky Siddle does the same. So the drivers are really struggling through Crook on this first lap. This is the difficulty. Something is down there that is sending karts straight on onto the runoff area at Crook, and we have no idea why there's absolutely no grip at all. But there is absolutely no grip at all. So that's what we're going to have to combat at the moment. But all 21 of the drivers, the 20 established drivers who have been there pretty much since the start, and the new boy in the mix as well, Vijay Ramlal, who was very impressive yesterday, it has to be said. So it's going to be very impressive. Oh, is that Harry Barlow going off? I think that was Harry Barlow, the championship rival to Tyrone Stansfield, going off the road. Well, that is not the best start as the lap times start to come in now, and Will Martin sets the early pace on a 50.543 ahead of Oliver Moy and Toby Baldry. 4th position so far, Tyrone Stansfield. That's not a bad starting point. Connor Brown in 5th ahead of the 74 of Morgan Cole. We got another spinner there at Christmas Corner. Not sure who that was that went. But I think that might have been the 93, actually, of Ben Gartside, who just got a little bit sideways. The only person not to have set a flying lap comes across the line now. That's Harry Barlow, and is only 19th because it wasn't a particularly fast one, thanks to that off. But there is Tom Massaralla, the number 7, going round on the far side of the circuit. As they cross the line, the drivers are coming. Tyrone Stansfield goes top. Oliver Moy goes top. 49.569. Now, yesterday, the new boy, Vijay Ramlal, was in the 49s. He did a 49.2. Now, that is not going to be the fastest that will get in the qualifying session, I don't think, but that's certainly a good indication of where he can be if he's got a good kart underneath him. Everybody's going to get into the 50s in the next couple of laps around the circuit. Only Barlow and Massarella haven't done so far. Moy is your leader. Stansfield second from Martin, Baldry. Then it is George Whitehouse in 5th position now ahead of Connor Brown as Massarella goes over the line and gets into 17th. Vijay Ramlal gets into 18th with a 54.2. Harry Barlow goes across the line, and that's good enough for 13th. It's very, very close in this championship, though. Very close indeed, and drivers will be getting those lap times down quickly. As Stansfield goes fastest on a 48.4. And Will Martin is only 0.05 of a second slower than him at the moment. That's incredible. Oliver Moy in 3rd. Toby Baldry. Sam Cunliffe goes 4th. Ben Gardside goes 4th. So the lap times are really starting to come in now as the dry weather running comes into play. So the track is drying out quickly and it's all starting to shuffle. Siddle gets a 6th position lap in there. Davison goes up to 13th position. But it's Stansfield from Martin, Moy, Gardside, Cunliffe, Siddle. Then it's Baldry, Morgan Cole, Connor Brown and Zach Parkinson in the top 10 in front of Nicky Taylor and Harry Graham. Harry Barlow is way down in 19th at the moment. He really needs to find some speed here if he wants to go up against Tyrone Stansfield in a straight fight. He goes up to 13th, but that's not going to be good enough. Stansfield's done a 47.7. So he's definitely got the measure of this circuit in the very slippery, tricky conditions. Absolutely terrific stuff. Scott Huntley there out on the circuit battling away with Harry Graham on the road. And that tends to work out for drivers when they battle with other competitors to really get a feel for the race circuit. They start to battle away with each other. That's Ben Gardside in there following the 65 of Zach Parkinson. So they run on the far side of the circuit. Up to 5th goes George Whitehouse on a 48.446. That's only 0.02 of a second quicker than Connor Brown. Absolutely amazing stuff. But what a sensational battle this is set to be all the way through today. It's going to be incredibly close. We know that for a fact. And it's just going to keep on going as the racing continues to be tight, close, and incredibly exciting. Lots of energy around the circuit as Stansfield, still the fastest, improves on his best. Martin 2nd from Moy, Brown. Cunliffe goes 4th. Cole goes 5th. So Brown is up to 6th. Then Baldry. Parkinson moves up into 8th position. George Whitehouse is 9th and Ben Gartside is 10th. Nicky Taylor now goes 10th. Siddle now comes up to 9th place. Where's Harry Barlow? Still only 17th at the moment. And very worryingly, nearly 2 seconds slower than the best lap time from Tyrone Stansfield. So this is a real problem for Harry Barlow if he wants to win the championship today. He said to me yesterday, I'm all in for this. I'm going to push it absolutely to the max. And he said, basically, as far as he's concerned, it's all or nothing today. I've got to win this. He's now got the gap down. He's in 16th. 48.7 is the gap. Connor Brown goes 2nd fastest. So it's all changing all the time. But look at that. As Sam Cunliffe now goes to the top. Stansfield is 0.08 of a second back. Brown is 0.09 of a second back. That's how close it is in the Junior Championship. The top 10 covered by 0.8 of a second. And it's only going to get closer as the session continues with only 4.5 minutes to go. So Cunliffe is at the top. Stansfield is 2nd. Brown is 3rd. Graham goes up to 4th position. Harry Graham. Oliver Moy in 5th position now from Will Martin, Toby Baldry, Zach Parkinson, George Whitehouse and Morgan Cole. Scott Huntley's up to 11th place now. No, he's not, because Massarella goes 10th in front of Cole and Huntley. Then it's Gardside, Davison, Siddle, Rigg, Taylor. Up to 10th goes Harry Barlow. That's more like it, as Tyrone Stansfield gets a 47.1 lap in there. My goodness, that's quick. Tyrone Stansfield does definitely not want Harry Barlow to get a whisker of a chance of gunning for the championship. He leads by only 8 points, Tyrone Stansfield, and he wants to put this title to bed and go and celebrate in his hometown of Braintree in Essex. Stansfield, Cunliffe, Moy, Siddle, Connor Brown, Zach Parkinson, Harry Graham, Nicky Taylor, Ben Gardside and Morgan Cole. Up to 2nd goes Harry Graham. Harry Graham gets himself onto the front row as we watch on the screen Thomas Massarella taking the heel of the boot out of the final turn and onto the main straight. Non-MSA racing, of course, in the birelART UK series, which means that you can basically do some indoor running as a starter point and then come and test once you've got a little bit of experience in indoor karting or even a bit of outdoor, and then come and get yourself straight onto the grid. Many of these drivers, this is their first professional championship season. Zach Parkinson in 4th place as he works his way up onto the second row of the grid. He's going to be absolutely elated with 4th place if he can stay there. He can't for the moment as Nicky Taylor goes to the top. Nicky Taylor puts in a 47.155. That is 41 thousandths of a second. And now Graham goes top. But how about that? Sky Siddle has set exactly the same lap time to the 1,000th of a second as Tyrone Stansfield. They are 3rd and 4th, Stansfield and Siddle. Graham is now the fastest. Nicky Taylor is 2nd from Stansfield, Siddle, Cunliffe, Parkinson, Whitehouse, Moy, Huntley and Brown. It's only going to change as now Barlow gets into the mix. He's now into 6th position. And now he drops to 8th because Baldry's gone to the top. Baldry's gone fastest. Stansfield is 2nd. Graham is 3rd. Moy, Brown, Taylor, Siddle for the next 2.5 minutes. It's just going to keep on shuffling. Guardside in 7th place now in front of Sky Siddle. Then it's Cunliffe, Barlow, Parkinson. Siddle goes 4th fastest now on a 46.988. Sky Siddle right up there. She's now on the 2nd row of the grid. Baldry, though, is the fastest man, and Graham goes 2nd. Then it's Stansfield, Siddle, Moy, Brown, Taylor, Guardside, Cunliffe and Barlow. Now, Harry Barlow is a bit closer to the pace. Stansfield's best is a 46.9. Barlow's a 47.2. That's how close it really is. The gap all the way down from 1st to 17th is now 0.8 of a second, would you believe? That is how we do things in the Junior Championship. It's so close, so tight from the top to the back. You've really got to be one of the very best in the country if you want to get pole position in this championship. It's so close. Baldry, Graham, Stansfield, Siddle, Moy, Brown, Taylor, Guardside, Cunliffe and Barlow. That's your top 10. Nicky Taylor goes 2nd, 0.6 of a second quicker than Harry Graham. He gets himself back onto the front row for the moment. And now Graham goes fastest, a 46.657 from him now. Absolutely terrific stuff. So Graham is now on top, the number 5 in front of Toby Baldry. They will share the front row if things don't change in the next minute and 13, which they will. That's Tom Massaralla now moving up into 4th position. So it's Graham and Baldry. Graham and Baldry on the front row. Taylor is 3rd from Massaralla, Stansfield, Siddle, Moy, Whitehouse, Brown and Harry Barlow. And that's the gap. You can see on the timing screen if you're watching the Facebook live stream, the gap between them all. Those are the lap times. There is only 0.8 of a second covering the top 16 karts on the grid. Absolutely amazing. That is how we do things in the birelART Juniors with their 100cc engines. Graham is on fast this time at the moment, 46.657. He will be on pole position. Stansfield's moved himself back into 2nd place. Baldry, Taylor, Massaralla, and now Tom Davison comes up into 6th position. Siddle, Moy, Parkinson and Morgan Cole round out the top 10. Harry Barlow is down to 13th behind George Whitehouse and Connor Brown. He comes over the line again. He doesn't improve. Guardside is 14th from Sam Cunliffe, Scott Huntley, Dylan Reed, Will Martin, Jack Rigg, Toby Gilmore and the new boy VJ Ramlal. Across the line. Only a few seconds to go, so these guys will be starting their final flying laps. Sam Cunliffe comes across the line, so does Cole, Parkinson and Guardside. The next one to come across the line will be VJ Ramlal, and I think that's the checkered flag. Nicky Taylor finishes his final flying lap and goes 2nd, alongside Graham on the front row of the grid. Siddle remains in 7th position. Then Dylan Reed comes through. No improvement from him. Harry Graham remains pole position, but doesn't improve his time. Will there be one final shuffle of the deck? The checkered flag is out. Qualifying is going to be incredibly tight. They come across the line. Here is Massaralla. Now, where is Harry Barlow? This is going to be an important lap for Harry Barlow. Here he comes over the line. Where's he going to finish up? He goes up to 6th. That's much more like it. Harry Barlow saves his bacon right at the death. Fantastic news. And Stansfield goes to the top. 46.260 from Stansfield. So Barlow now drops to 8th position as we've had more shuffling. That's Stansfield ahead of Graham, Nicky Taylor and Oliver Moy in 4th position. Absolutely amazing. Baldry is 5th from Sam Cunliffe, who comes back into the top 6. 7th is Massaralla from Barlow, Davison and Cole. Let's look at the final standings then in the session. Stansfield on pole position from Harry Graham, Nicky Taylor and Oliver Moy. Then Toby Baldry and Sam Cunliffe. The new E-Plate champion is only 6th. Then we have Tom Massaralla and Harry Barlow. Tom Davison is 9th in front of Morgan Cole. Sky Siddle, 11th position. Zach Parkinson in 12th place. That's 3/4 of a second covering these guys. Connor Brown is 13th in front of Ben Guardside. Then we move into the lower rankings. 15th position is George Whitehouse in front of Will Martin. 17th is Scott Huntley in front of Dylan Reed in 18th position. Then we have Jack Rigg, Toby Gilmore and VJ Ramlal. Absolutely amazing. 0.8 of a second covering the top 15 karts on the starting grid for the birelART Juniors. Sensational. Doesn't even begin to cut it. But that is absolutely incredible. And now we go to the really tough battle, the real showdown. This is the junior class, 8 points between Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow for the championship. Good luck to Morgan Cole, says Rachel Jones, who is watching on the Facebook live stream at home. And what an absolutely incredible battle it has been thus far. Here is the grid for the first junior heat. And how close is this? Just check out the lap times as we scroll through. Tyrone Stansfield on pole position alongside Harry Graham. It's a big gap between those two, but just look at the rest of them. Nicky Taylor and Oliver Moy on the second row of the grid. Moy has definitely got his mojo together after a strong showing at Shennington. Nicky Taylor gunning for his first win, but he's got to pass Stansfield and Graham to do it. Toby Baldry, very confident in his final weekend of the season alongside the newly crowned E-Plate champion, Sam Cunliffe. They are 0.02 of a second behind Moy, and those two on the third row separated by just 0.06 of a second. Pinch me, I must be dreaming. Thomas Massarella is there in 7th position on the grid alongside Harry Barlow. Then it's Tom Davison and Morgan Cole together on row 5. Sky Siddle and Zach Parkinson are together on row 6. Again, very, very close indeed between those four. Just look at the gap between them. Connor Brown and Ben Gartside on the 7th row as well, 13th and 14th. Then we have Will Martin in there. I'm not sure it is Vijay Ramlal who joins him on the 15th position on the grid. We'll have to double check on that one. Scott Huntley and Dylan Reed. It's actually, I think it's Zach Parkinson who joins Will Martin on that row of the grid. I apologise for that. Scott Huntley and Dylan Reed, then Jack Rigg and Toby Gilmore, and then the new boy Vijay Ramlal, who did drop his time to a 49.086 in the end. Vijay Ramlal will join the grid in 21st position, but his pace all weekend has been very, very impressive indeed. And we got an off. We've got an off on the far side. Now that is Connor Brown. Connor Brown has gone off there at Christmas Corner on the formation lap. Now, as we said, there are 2 formation laps. So Connor Brown will have another lap and a half or so to get himself into position, but that just shows you how tough it is on still a very greasy circuit, it has to be said. They're not forming up yet because they know they've got 2 laps in formation. The cadets were not sure if there was 1 or 2 laps, but Tyrone Stansfield just leading himself around. Harry Graham in 2nd place. Nicky Taylor, Oliver Moy, Toby Baldry and Sam Cunliffe. Harry Barlow from the 4th row of the grid. This is going to be a very, very tough race indeed. Harry Barlow given a wish there from Libby Barlow. Good luck, Harry. It's going to be a very, very tough position at the moment to battle for. It's worth pointing out, as Austin Greatorex says, in the cadets, we just have a little bit of a review of that, because Austin Greatorex has just written Oakley Keatley set the fastest lap in the cadets race. An unfortunate start, as he could have been right up there. He's still got plenty of time to get up there as well, and you're absolutely right. He did set the fastest lap of the race, so amazing stuff. And Stuart Briley says, crikey, Dylan got some awesome performances there too at the end. So many incredible battles going on. And I think we've got time for one more well-wisher from the Facebook stream, and it's from Zoe Martin. Good luck, Will. Love, Mum. Well, Will's done a good job so far. He's in the midfield, but knowing Will Martin, particularly around this place, he should be very strong, particularly in the latter stages of the meeting. He won the very first race of the entire season, Will Martin. Has struggled to get to the podium since then. But who knows, it could be the final race of the year where he does it. But the championship battle is on the line. Tyrone Stansfield versus Harry Barlow. 8 points in it. Stansfield starts P1. Harry Barlow starts P8. This one is going to be an absolute rocket ship of a race. Get ready, folks. The engine revs rise out of the final turn, and we're racing. And it's a cracking start from Stansfield. Nicky Taylor's in there as well in 2nd position. It's a bit of a battle further back, but everybody's through. Oblivion and Crook safely for the moment. No major dramas further back in the field. So Stansfield takes the early advantage from Nicky Taylor and Harry Graham. Nicky Taylor almost went ugly early there as he went up the inside. Sam Cunliffe trying to battle on the inside line as everybody tiptoes their way through Christmas Corner. Nicky Taylor's going for the lead very early on Tyrone Stansfield. He has to back out of it in the end. But Nicky Taylor does not want to beat Tyrone Stansfield without doing it in an incredible fashion. He wants to be very strong indeed. Harry Graham right on his toes. And Oliver Moy in there as well in 4th place. Sam Cunliffe, his second half of the season has been meteoric, Sam Cunliffe. But Harry Barlow's coming up the inside. Barlow's through into 5th place. Nicky Taylor down to 3rd behind Harry Graham. And Stansfield, look, is trying to disappear out into the distance. Nicky Taylor trying to come back at Harry Graham. Oliver Moy in there in 4th position. Barlow is absolutely on it. They've got a lot more grip through Crook, so clearly the moisture that fell on the circuit a little bit earlier on in the little spitty rain shower has now finally dried up, and now everybody is able to get enough grip through Crook. So they come up towards Ashby for the second time. Tyrone Stansfield leads. Graham second. Up the inside goes Moy for third on Nicky Taylor. And that's brought Harry Barlow right onto the back of him. Sixth place is Baldry in front of Cunliffe. So now Oliver Moy's trying to get up the inside of Nicky Taylor. Nicky Taylor did not want to lose that position. Oliver Moy finally gets his way through and he signals to Nicky Taylor, come on, let's get away. We're losing the leaders. Let's catch them up. But Nicky Taylor's not going to want to cooperate very easily with Oliver Moy, especially with Harry Barlow right on his tail. As they run out of the final turn, whoops, Sam Cunliffe, Toby Baldry and Morgan Cole having a bit of a shindig there. And I think Toby Baldry is going to feel like he got left out to dry. Now, in terms of that final turn, in the driver's briefing this morning, obviously the issue of track limits did come up in that driver's briefing this morning. Is up the inside. That's Will Martin making up another place. Good move from him. But they did mention track limits, particularly with reference to the final turn. And it was made very clear by Andy Cox in the race briefing this morning that if you go wide, it's fine, as long as you're not kissing the tyre barrier on the far side. Then you'll start getting warnings and penalties. But crucially, if you overtake a car by going off the racetrack at that corner, going round the outside and making up a place, then you'll get a penalty. So they've been very clear about that one. It is non-MSA in the birelART UK Series, so the premium is on Great Racing. So obviously they've got to do the best they can. Oh dear, it looks like Vijay Ramlal might be in a bit of trouble on the back straight. He's a little bit slow. But I think that's mechanical. That's definitely not Vijay Ramlal having a difficulty with himself. He was very quick in the testing yesterday, to be fair. But the third place battle still very good. Oh my goodness, there's a three-way battle further back as Sky Siddle gets hung out to dry and has lost about 4 places. Meanwhile, this is the third position battle we're watching on the stream. Harry Barlow trying to come up past Nicky Taylor, but Sam Cunliffe tries to go on the inside, doesn't get the move done. Oliver Moy still in third position in front of Nicky Taylor and Harry Barlow, and there's been a problem further back as Sam Cunliffe goes backwards. So Sam Cunliffe has dropped himself a long way down there, down to 9th position in front of Toby Baldry. Terrific racing, but unfortunately for Sam Cunliffe, that was definitely not his moment as Harry Barlow goes up the inside of Nicky Taylor. Taylor trying to defend to come around the outside of Oliver Moy and has lost the position. Let's watch again. So Sam Cunliffe, that's Morgan Cole up the inside, takes the position and Cunliffe runs onto the grass, loses the back end and somehow catches the spin. Absolutely amazing. And now Barlow's going up the inside for Oliver Moy in third position. Has he got it? No, he hasn't. Oliver Moy shuts the door. Nicky Taylor tries to come past Harry Barlow. He will not be giving the place up. Morgan Cole now into 6th position in front of Tom Massarella and Will Martin. Taylor's got Barlow to his right, to his left. He drifts out wide. And now Harry Barlow signals to the 117 of Nicky Taylor, you overtook me illegally. That's what he's saying. I don't know whether that's true or not, but he puts his hand in the air. Look, a warning for Nicky Taylor. So clearly the 117, the marshals have said, you're pushing it a little bit, sunshine, as Will Martin makes the move on Tom Massarella through Christmas. Oliver Moy's breaking clear in third position. They need to stop this squabbling and get after the leaders because Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Graham are disappearing up the road. Stansfield is your leader. Harry Graham in second. Moy third. Taylor, Barlow, Morgan Cole. Then it's Martin, Massarella and Sam Cunliffe, led by Zach Parkinson further back in 10th position. Then it's Connor Brown, Dylan Reed, Scott Huntley, Sky Siddle, and then in behind it is George Whitehouse. I'm actually surprised that Scott Huntley and Sky Siddle are not further up the road. They don't quite seem to have the pace at the moment. Connor Brown is struggling a little bit, but it's incredibly close in this battle. And of course, once you have a few other difficulties, then it really becomes an issue. Now, we've seemed to have lost 2 drivers from the race. I can't see Tom Davison circulating anymore. I think Tom Davison might be out of the race now, as too, I'm afraid to say, is Toby Baldry. So Toby Baldry was in the top 10 at one point. He seems to have pulled off the race circuit with a mechanical problem. I'm just looking to see if he's done that in the pits or on the racetrack. I think it's in the pits. But this is the battle still, with Nicky Taylor having worked his way back into third position ahead of Oliver Moy. So Taylor, Moy, Barlow, Cole, then it's Martin, Massarella and Cunliffe chasing them down. Then we've got another train as it's Parkinson, Brown, Reed, Huntley, Siddle and Whitehouse. Terrific battles all the way down the order. But these 3, Martin, Massarella and Cunliffe, are closing in on the battle for third position. Any of them are going to stand on this podium at this rate. Of course, the trophies are given out for the finals, not the heats. And look at that, Oliver Moy swarming around all over the place, trying to keep Harry Barlow at bay. Barlow's going to get the momentum, though, down into Chapman's. He goes for the inside line, can't get the move. Oh, my goodness, this is absolutely terrific. So again, Harry Barlow puts the pressure on Oliver Moy. Stansfield leads the way. Second is Graham. They've just come across the finish line. The third place battle is now a good 5 seconds behind the leaders as Barlow again defends from Morgan Cole, who's looking mighty quick today. Taylor has broken clear a little bit in third position. That's enough for him to be comfortable. But Morgan Cole starting to pressure Harry Barlow. Martin and Massarella very close. Cunliffe only a whisker away as well. Then it is Parkinson, Reed, Siddle, Brown, Huntley, Whitehouse, Rigg, Gartside, Gilmore and Ramlal. And I have to say, fair play to Ramlal. He's picking up the pace again. His speed is coming on as he closes down on Toby Gilmore. So whatever it was that was slowing him down earlier was a mechanical issue. As up to fourth place goes Harry Barlow. Makes the move on Oliver Moy through Chapman's. Now he's having to defend in the ankle and the toe of the boot. He shuts the door nicely. Signals to Moy, come on, the leaders are getting away. We need to work together as Martin dives up the inside of Morgan Cole. That was a very sweet move, but Cole defends and gets it back to stop Massarella coming through. Then runs wide at the crook corner. Up Manuel's bank through Fine Lady. And up the inside, Massarella has a look. Can't quite get through. Again, terrific stuff from the juniors, but Tyrone Stansfield does not want this to be a close title fight at all. He wants to dominate from the front, and that's exactly what he's doing in the first heat. But it could all change in the pre-final and final. We've had it so many times this year. Tyrone Stansfield was on the course to take the clean sweep at Sheddington the first time we went there, won the heat, won the pre-final, and then the stub axle sheared on the back of the cart, and he was out of the race at the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Great racing thus far. Stansfield leads. Graham second. We're into the penultimate lap of the race as Taylor has now broken clear in third from Barlow, Moy, Martin, Massarella. Cole is still up there, sorry. Cole is in there in front of Martin. Behind Martin, but ahead of Massarella, I should say. And now Morgan Cole's making the move for Will Martin. So he's about to go through into Christmas. Ooh, very close indeed as Martin combats Morgan Cole by trying to go for Oliver Moy and ends up being delayed. Massarella now makes a move on the inside of Morgan Cole. And there's no space. Morgan Cole shuts the door. Beautifully done. Meanwhile, further back, and Sky Siddle is getting a few more places up. She's up to 11th place in there with Dylan Reed as Will Martin has been given a warning. So he will get a warning board as the final lap begins for Tyrone Stansfield. Yellow flags, yellow flags. We've got 2 carts off at the back. Now that looks to me that is at Parker. We've had 2 carts come off together. Now that looks like Zach Parkinson. Zach Parkinson has come together with Connor Brown. No, it's not Connor Brown. My apologies. I think that might be George Whitehouse, actually. Yes, it is George Whitehouse. He's stationary up at Parker. So it looks to me as though Zach Parkinson's got going again, but George Whitehouse is out of the race. There he is. And he's absolutely devastated. What a shame for George Whitehouse. Been driving so well all season. But on the last lap, Tyrone Stansfield will not be denied in the first heat. He comes around the final turn, and he has done everything he needs to in this one. Tyrone Stansfield takes the first race of the day. Keep it like that, Tyrone, and you will be champion. Graham in second. Nicky Taylor comes through for third. Harry Barlow does his best, comes through for 4th place. That's definitely made up some points. Moy in 5th. Martin 6th from Cole, Massarella, Cunliffe and Dylan Reed in the top 10 ahead of Siddle and Huntley. Connor Brown comes through in front of Ben Gartside. Then it is Jack Rigg who comes through. It will be Zach Parkinson, I think, who comes through in 16th position eventually, having had that little shake and bake with George Whitehouse, and I don't think he'll be too happy about it. Then it's Toby Gilmore and Vijay Ramlal. Again, well done to Vijay Ramlal, who's had a really positive start to his first weekend in the championship as George Whitehouse now sets to work, pushing the cart back. Poor George. I feel so sorry for him on that occasion. A great battle, and it was doing an absolutely terrific job. But unfortunately, there's not much he can do about it now. He's just got to keep on pushing. But Tyrone Stansfield, there's the confirmation, wins the race from Harry Graham and Nicky Taylor. Harry Barlow in P4 from Oliver Moy and Will Martin. Look how close it was at the end, though, between Moy, Martin, Morgan Cole in 7th, Tom Massarella in 8th, and Sam Cunliffe in 9th. That's only the first race of the day as well. Dylan Reed, Sky Siddle, Scott Huntley and Connor Brown, with Ben Gartside in there in P14. 15th position, Jack Rigg in front of Zach Parkinson and Toby Gilmore. Vijay Ramlal coming in behind Gilmore. And then we have the retirements of George Whitehouse, Toby Baldry, and Tom Davison. Absolutely amazing battling so far. But still a long way to go here before we crown our 4 champions. Huge thank you to Matt Pierce. He says, awesome coverage from the Alpha Live team. Hopefully that's the way it's going to be for the entirety of 2018. Absolutely amazing stuff. So now attention turns once again to the juniors and that incredible championship battle. 8 points between them. Here's the grid, which is the result of race 1. Tyrone Stansfield still in position at the front of the championship, and after a win in the heat, looks good. Harry Graham alongside him on the front row of the starting grid. The very feisty Nicky Taylor, 3rd position in there on the 2nd row, alongside the other man fighting for the championship, Harry Barlow. He's getting better, but he still needs to beat Stansfield. Moy and Martin together on the 3rd row of the grid. Moy looking so strong as the leading rookie. Will Martin doing an incredible job whenever he possibly can. Morgan Cole and Thomas Massarella sharing the 4th row of the starting grid, with Sam Cunliffe and Dylan Reed fighting back to be in the top 10 at the end of that first race. Sky Siddle 11th on the grid on the 6th row alongside Scott Huntley. 13th Connor Brown as he shares the 7th row of the grid with Ben Gartside. 15th on the starting grid and so on. We will talk about that in a little bit because there's not a lot of time before the next race. Absolutely terrific stuff so far. And there's a lot of support watching on the Facebook stream. Martin Robinson is watching at home. Go Tyrone. He leads the championship. He leads the way at the moment, having taken the first heat victory. So it's all about the potential for very close battling all the way through in this last races of the season. But how close is it at the moment? Tyrone Stansfield, a 9-time winner this year, thanks to his victory in race 1. But it's so tight, so close. Tyrone Stansfield hadn't won a race. Before race 1, Stansfield hadn't won since Fullbeck. And now he has got his championship attack right back on course with a win in race 1. Harry Barlow needing to get back into a winning position again in this 2nd race of the weekend. And it's so tight. To give you an idea, the winner of the heat gets 65 points. Barlow, finishing 4th place, got 57. That is an 8-point gap. Now, they had an 8-point gap coming into the race itself, so still very tight indeed, but we have to take dropped scores into account. Basically, whoever beats the other and scores more points over the course of the final race meeting will win the championship. So it's so tight, so tense between these guys. And let's not forget the 19 other races in the junior category who are going to be battling all the way to the finish line. Superb stuff and absolutely magnificent racing to come then, especially from Harry Graham on the front row of the grid alongside Tyrone Stansfield, looking very feisty all weekend. And maybe, just maybe, this is Harry Graham's chance to put it on the top step of the podium for the first time in 2017. He's worked so hard to get there, but Nicky Taylor right behind him is going to be determined. He's come so close so many times, including in that race just a little earlier on. He'll want to finish in 1st position. And they've all got to be mindful of Oliver Moy in 5th position. The leading rookie has been incredibly quick here this weekend, as he was at Shenington. And he might just spoil the surprise a little bit and throw a bit of a spanner into the works of the established guard of drivers. There's quite a few drivers a bit further back who have the chance to make their way forward. Will Martin, Morgan Cole, Tom Massarella, Dylan Reed, Sam Cunliffe, all of them in prime position. Let's not forget the likes of Scott Huntley or Sky Siddle either. All of them with a good chance to move their way forward. And there's some great battles going on further back. A few drivers wanting to make a bit of a comeback, particularly Toby Baldry and Tom Davison will want to charge their way forward from the back of the grid. There's plenty to keep this race spicy. And there's going to be some amazing drives from these 21 racers as well from the rookie in this race, Vijay Manlal, who's done a very good job in his first race of the 2017 season, and full credit to him for it. His pace has been strong, convincing. He's looked very composed, competitive, and he's got a very wise head on his young shoulders as well. I think that will steer him in very good stead for the 2018 season, which he has every intention, I'm told, of competing in full time. So it's going to be a really exciting run here this weekend to see how well he slots in. So far, the verdict is very well indeed. He's right on the pace. He's right there with his fellow competitors, and he hasn't done the last 7 rounds of the championship. He must be one talented cookie, let's put it that way. And amazing stuff from young Vijay Ramlal, and I have a feeling that's a name you're going to hear quite a few times in the 2018 season. The 20 other drivers need to watch their back around him, And there's going to be an interesting battle further up the road because we've got that major championship challenge coming from the Stansfield versus Barlow battle with the 8 or 9 other drivers who don't really care about that and just want to end the championship with a victory. It will be such a tight battle and such a close fight, but there's a lot of pride and bragging rights on the line here for any of those who aren't in the championship fight. For any of those who are, Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow, it's make or break. And it really is very close indeed. 10 minutes back on the clock, plus 1 lap. It will be an amazing run. And after these 2 formation laps, when we get going once again in the Junior 100 pre-final, we may have a better idea as to who is going to be the 2017 birelART UK Series Junior 100 champion. And it will be an incredibly tough fight. Some incredibly talented drivers on this grid, as we've said. A lot of these are on the cusp of Ginetta Juniors in the world of TOCA touring cars, of course. And that will make things particularly exciting for them. 4 or 5 of the drivers in this grid were at the recent Ginetta Junior Scholarship, which some of the best drivers in the field do get selected for as part of the ongoing deal with Ginetta cars. But we had some very talented drivers get selected from that. Tyrone Stansfield, Sam Cunliffe, Will Martin and Tom Massarella were all selected to go to the Ginetta Junior Scholarship. They all did an amazing job. Will Martin going further than most and very much putting himself into a good frame of mind for the final round of the championship, and for several of those, another crack at the Junior Championship in 2018. But the Junior Championship has always been the closest and most competitive championship of most weekends. And it will not end any differently here at Whilton Mill. It's been an amazing crop of races. Let's talk you through how things have currently fared through the course of the Junior Championship. Tyrone Stansfield, a 9-time winner so far this season. His race 1 earlier on was his first win since Fullbeck, but he had had an amazing run up to that point where he had won 8 of the 9 races in a row from the second heat from the first heat at Shennington all the way to the last heat at Fullbeck. He had a dominant run where he won 8 of the 9 races. The only black spot was the final at Shennington in race 2 when his stub axle broke and he ended up crawling to a halt at the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Up to that point, he was dominant. Harry Barlow has won 5 times over the course of the season. A victory in the final here at Whilton Mill at the very start of the season when Tyrone Stansfield struggled and then eventually managed not to win any of the races at Whilton Mill. He's made up for that so far. 2 more wins in the year for Harry Barlow came at the 5th round of the championship, where he was very, very strong indeed as the field went to Clay Pigeon, winning in the pre-final and the final. He then won the heat and pre-final last time out at Shennington on the course for the E-Plate, but it was eventually won by that wily fox, Sam Cunliffe, who took the victory. The only other race winner, other than Scott Huntley and Will Martin, alongside Sam Cunliffe and Tom Massarella, was the man who won all 3 races at Buttmore Park, incredibly. Toby Goodman, last year's champion. He came back for a one-off and won all 3 races at Buttmore Park and then promptly sold the car. It's a good car. Someone's going to get a race winner for next season, and I wonder who it is that's going to be driving it. It will be a very interesting one. Several drivers have been on the podium over the course of the year, though. There's been several winners, as we've already mentioned. Stansfield, Barlow, Massarella, Scott Huntley, Will Martin, Sam Cunliffe and Toby Goodman have all been race winners so far this season. Many more have been on the podium. Harry Graham has been a rostrum runner. Nicky Taylor, Sky Siddle, Morgan Cole, Connor Brown and Oliver Moy, as well as Dylan Reed, have all been in the top 3, as has the one-time wonder Joe Sheppy, who raced in the last 2 rounds of the championship, but is not here this weekend for the season finale. So it's been a very competitive championship, all told. There's been many drivers in the top 3. It's very close in the Junior 100s, and this is the championship showdown that everybody is going to want a front row seat for, because it's very close indeed between Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow. So we're just waiting to get the race underway. We think there's a slight delay in the start. We're not entirely sure what that delay is, but we will be getting away very, very shortly indeed. Head to the website, birelARTUKseries.com, if you want to enter the championship. You will basically, for your entry fee, be given a cart, the entirety of the race entries and tyres and everything as well. It's going to be an absolutely terrific season next year. For a whisker over $3,000, you can have an absolutely amazing championship season. It's a national level championship. Everybody has exactly the same equipment. You can't win with money. You have to win with raceability. It is absolutely fantastic. And as a result of that, it makes things incredibly close. Did you see the early qualifying session this morning? 15, 16 karts separated by less than a second. That is driver skill. It's all on driver talent and skill, and the amazing work of the one lone mechanic you're allowed to have on your kart in the pits. And because there are no teams in the championship, there is a no team sport in the birelART Junior Championship, it makes it very even, and it means that lad and dad operations can and are very, very successful in the championship as well. So it's always a very popular paddock as well. There's been some amazing spirit and competition and companionship over the course of the season. Most of the junior drivers are very, very close-knit friends with each other, and they socialise in between races as well. It's genuinely the most friendly National Karting Championship paddock I think I've ever worked in. Absolutely incredible and amazing team spirit and good friendship between the teams. We are coming up to 12:30, which is the time scheduled for the race. So it wasn't a delay, it was actually getting us back on schedule when we were a little bit behind time before. So apologies for that. We are about to get to 12:30 and the sunshine beams down on the circuit. No threat of rain now, as the drivers are getting ready for the pre-final in the birelART Juniors 100 Championship. Do send your messages of encouragement through the day, but we're about to get racing once again as the dummy grid leaves the dummy grid. Onto the circuit we go, and it's time for action in the birelART UK Karting Series for one more time. So the race battle is going to be a very hectic one with Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Graham on the front row of the grid, and we are definitely in for some fireworks here on this November the 5th. Nicky Taylor, third position on the starting grid alongside the other championship opposition to Tyrone Stansfield, which is Harry Barlow. This will be an interesting one. Lots of great battles around the circuit this will be, and some very interesting racing to come around the Whilton Mill circuit. Great to see a relatively decent crowd around the circuit as well as they watch on from the side of the circuit. Some great racing to come, of course, and there's quite a large crowd building around the circuit as they watch the action here at Whilton Mill. So the drivers just getting their 2 formation laps in, and then we will go racing once again. And I genuinely can't call this one. Who is going to be champion over Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow? The pendulum has swung so many times over the course of the season. And I genuinely don't know who is going to get the benefit of it. Some absolutely terrific stuff so far from this incredible field of drivers. And we are going to have some awesome racing to come here. The spectacle is very high indeed for this 10 minutes plus 1 lap pre-final. And the grid is forming now. So we are getting ready for the action once more here. And Tyrone Stansfield, leading the championship, leads them round on the formation lap, courtesy of his race 1 victory, his first win of the season at Whilton Mill. He didn't win any of the 3 races last time out when we were here back in March, but he has put that right in race 1. But the question is, who will do the best in the pre-final? Goosebumps down the spine time as they come off of the toe of the boot, down towards the heel. And into Pitts Bend, or the heel of the boot. The engine revs will rise now, and we are racing in the pre-final. Good start from Stansfield. Taylor's going to go with him. There's not a lot of space for Harry Barlow to cut through, and he's going to go round the outside of Crook. Oliver Moy's in there with Will Martin and Morgan Cole. Morgan Cole sideways with Will Martin, and he's up alongside him to try and get through. Into the lead goes Nicky Taylor. Nicky Taylor takes the lead from Tyrone Stansfield in the early doors. Amazing stuff. So Stansfield down to second, Barlow fourth, and trying to challenge Harry Graham. Makes a move on the inside. Stansfield takes the lead. Barlow takes third. Crucial that he managed to make the move on Graham on the first lap. So good start from Harry Barlow as he sets off after Tyrone Stansfield. Terrific stuff in the early stages of this race as Stansfield runs in front of Taylor, Barlow, Graham, Moy, Martin, Cole, Massarella and Siddle. Terrific start to this race as they come into the boot. Tom Davison and Toby Baldry are already starting to lap the overtake the back enders, I should say, as they come across the line once more. Stansfield leads the way from Taylor, Barlow, Graham, Moy, Martin, Cole and Massarella. Morgan Cole's got a good run. He's trying to get up alongside Will Martin to Christmas. He can't quite get through. Martin defending Morgan Cole there and manages to keep hold of the place. This is sensational stuff as Stansfield continues to lead in front of Taylor, Barlow. Then it's Graham, Moy, Martin, Cole, Massarella, Siddle and Dylan Reed in front of Sam Cunliffe, the E-plate. Then it is Scott Huntley in front of Zach Parkinson and Connor Brown. Next up in the queue, that looks like Jack Rigg in front of Toby Baldry. Tom Davison going with him everywhere they go. Then it's Ben Gartside in front of George Whitehouse, another man who's charging through from the back. And then we have the two newbies, two rookies, Vijay Ramlal and Toby Gilmore, the man who's been a rookie all season long. But Tyrone Stansfield has got pressure from Nicky Taylor, and that means that Harry Barlow will be getting closer all the time. So Tyrone Stansfield definitely not leading with a dominant streak at the moment as Scott Huntley tries to keep on terms with Zach Parkinson further back. They are squabbling on the exit of Inkermans into Ashby. And now that looks like Tom Davison further back making the move on Jack Rigg. That's opened the door. Guardside goes through and George Whitehouse looks like he's going to sail through around the outside as well. He does. So good battles further back as well as at the front. Stansfield, Taylor, Barlow, Graham, Moy, Martin, Massarella now in front of Morgan Cole and Sky Siddle, with Sam Cunliffe having got past on Dylan Reed and Zach Parkinson. They come off the final turn. Nicky Taylor storming up behind Tyrone Stansfield. Great racing. Taylor's got a good exit off of Crook. He's going to dive for the inside of Christmas. No problem at all. And no questions asked. He gets through. Now Barlow's got a direct opportunity to close up and pass his main rival for the championship, Tyrone Stansfield. And Taylor's defending early. That's an opportunity for Barlow. Stansfield shuts the door. Goodness me, it's tightening up already. Taylor has got the lead and now he's not going to dominate. He's going to defend. So into Chapman's. Stansford still right there with him. Barlow had to back out of the throttle, and that's dropped him and the rest of the pack a little bit further back off them. But Barlow will come at them from a little bit further back. They come off the toe of the boot, into the heel now, the final turn. They storm through, and Nicky Taylor over the line, looking good. Stansfield second, Barlow, Graham, Moy, Martin, Massarella, Cole and Siddle. Cunliffe goes a little bit deep. That's enough to give Dylan Reed a bit of a run at him. And Dylan Reed is going to make a move on the inside of Sam Cunliffe. He just goes out of our shot, moves forward. Dylan Reed is through. So Dylan Reed now takes over 10th position from Sam Cunliffe. Sensational racing so far here in the juniors in the pre-final. It's all going to go down to the wire, but Nicky Taylor, as he has done so many times this year, is running at the front of the race. It's only in the latter stages of the race where things seem to get away from him, and we've still got 6.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. And Nicky Taylor runs in front of Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow, the two championship rivals. Harry Barlow, in his last meeting as a junior, he will want to go out as a champion. But to do that, he's got to beat Tyrone Stansfield. And Tyrone Stansfield is a man in front of him. Harry Barlow looking to step up to the Super Elites next year. He will be of age to do so, but he wants to beat the man from Braintree, Tyrone Stansfield, to do it. Nicky Taylor leads the way. Stansfield, Barlow, Graham, Moy, Martin, Cole and Massarella. So Morgan Cole has made his way back past Thomas Massarella. Sky Siddle closing up on them as well as they come out through the left-hander at Chapman's, up onto the back straight and up to the boot, into the ankle, into the toe and into the heel. Nicky Taylor still leads the way. He's just controlling his pace at the front. He doesn't need to disappear. He just needs to control the pace. Stop looking behind you, Nicky. That's the last thing you want to do. That is an invitation for the man behind to push. And now Tyrone Stansford is doing just that. Harry Barlow's closing up. Nicky Taylor just about hanging on in front of Stansfield. Barlow's right in there, and that's Morgan Cole battling with Will Martin. Morgan Cole up on the inside through Inkermans, up into Ashby, and Cole is through, but he drifts wide. Will Martin's going to get him back. They're going to be side by side, and Siddle's going to work with Morgan Cole to get through on the inside. Cole uses the inside line. Martin gets shunted wide nearly. Siddle tries to get on the inside of Will Martin, can't make it stick. Sam Cunliffe, meanwhile, is side by side with Tom Massarella behind Dylan Reed. Reed goes up the inside of Siddle, can't make the move, and Taylor's lost the lead. Taylor's lost the lead and is shunted down to 4th place. Barlow is through in the lead. Stansfield second, Graham third. Taylor and Moy are next. That was a real scuffle between the 4 or 5 of them. And now Stansfield going for his opposition in the championship, but Barlow is through and in front of him. Now a victory in the pre-final gives you 130 points, second gives you 127. So Barlow will gain back some points on his main opposition here if he beats him in the pre-final. Graham is third, Nicky Taylor is fourth, Oliver Moy is fifth, and all 5 of them are battling for the victory. Morgan Cole now leads the chase behind them. Siddle is 7th, Martin is 8th, from Reed, Massarella and Cunliffe. But what an absolutely sensational battle this is for the victory now. 5 of them, Barlow, Stansfield, Graham, Taylor, Moy. They come across the line into the first corner. I was watching Oliver Moy in the testing back in February, and I thought there's something special about this boy. He's in there in 5th as Stansfield goes for the lead. He drifts wide. Barlow's going to get back alongside him. He gets run out of road. So Barlow has to hang back. Graham's got good momentum. And they sort it out between them. Oh, and we've got an off. We've got an off on the way up to... We've got an off on the way up to Christmas. Somebody's off out of the cart and abandoned the cart. Now, I wonder who that is. I think that might be Connor Brown. Because we've got somebody off the circuit there up on Manuel's bank. I'm not entirely sure who that is that's gone. I think that's one of the bigger names, actually. We'll come and have a look. Stansfield leads from Barlow, Taylor, Graham and Moy. Oh, that is Massaralla. That is Thomas Massaralla. Red flag, red flag. So the race has been stopped. And, well, Barlow has made the overtaking move on Stansfield under red flags. So I don't know what the situation with that is, but the race has been red flagged. I'm not sure if Barlow saw it. Yes, he did. Well, that's a bit of a difficulty now. We had 2 minutes and 51 seconds left when the red flags came out, plus 1 lap, of course. So the race may well be restarted, but of course it's got to go back to the previous lap when the red flags came out. So I would say that that means that Tyrone Stansfield is going to be leading the race on the restart. But red flags because Thomas Massaralla has gone off in a very dangerous position. And I believe he's going to need a little bit of medical treatment, so the team will get there as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we're just looking at the order on the back of the grid, on the back straight of the grid, I should say. I think that's only the second red flag we've had all season long. So, again, that promotes the great driving standards of this championship. I believe that Thomas Massaralla is just winded. He's definitely moving in the kart, so that is a good sign. So we just need to let the safety crews do their job, and obviously they need to make sure that protocol and safety proceedings are carried out. They need to make sure it's done efficiently and to the book, so we'll just allow the safety crews to do that. But what this means is that the race is going to be restarted, we think. And of course, what's going to happen is effectively Tyrone Stansfield is going to lead on the restart, because surely they're going to count back to the previous completed lap. And that was Stansfield leading over Harry Barlow. So we've just been told that the race order from the lap before is going to be the starting for the next restart. So that is going to be Stansfield ahead of Barlow, Nicky Taylor, Harry Graham, Oliver Moy, Sky Siddle, who's worked her way up into 6th position, Morgan Cole, Dylan Reed, Sam Cunliffe, Zach Parkinson, Will Martin, Toby Baldry, Scott Huntley, Connor Brown, Tom Davison, Ben Gartside, George Whitehouse, Jack Rigg, and then Vijay Ramlal and Toby Gilmore. And I can tell you that that is the order they are in, other than Harry Barlow, who overtook Tyrone Stansfield just as the red flags came out. He overtook him into Christmas as they passed the scene of Thomas Massaralla's kart. And I can tell you that Tom Massaralla is out of the cart and he is just receiving medical treatment now, so that is good news. No need for stretchers or anything like that. It's just safety proceedings and precautions, because he's obviously gone off in a very odd part of the circuit. So they just needed to be very mindful of the safety proceedings. I remember very similar scenes earlier in the year when Elliot Stanley had his off at Fulbeck and rolled the kart in the Super Masters. We had the red flags out then at Fulbeck and he emerged okay, albeit with a massive scar. But as I told him at the time, chicks dig scars, so that's fine, don't worry about it. So the race is going to get started again in the birelART Juniors paddock. And the race will restart with Harry Barlow starting behind Tyrone Stansfield on the restart. The ambulance is just coming back from attending to the scene of Thomas Massaralla's incident. And it will be just a safety precaution that they are taking to make sure that Thomas Massaralla is okay. He is awake, he is talking, and he has made his own way to the ambulance, which is good. So obviously that is just a safety precaution that we are taking to make sure that he is perfectly okay. So we will update you on that a little bit later. But Tyrone Stansfield will take up the restart, and he will run in front of Harry Barlow at the restart. And Harry Barlow doesn't agree with it. Well, he may disagree with it, but at the end of the day, it's going back to the last completed lap. And so the last completed lap, Tyrone Stansfield was ahead of Harry Barlow. Now, whether that's what he's irritated by or something else, I don't know, but he's clearly agitated and frustrated. And is there a problem for Oliver Moy a little bit further back? So the entirety of the grid is in the correct orders. They're just double checking. Obviously, they have to make sure that all of the karts are in the correct positions. I can tell you that they are, but obviously I'm just the commentator. I don't make the decisions on things like that, but I can see that according to the positions they were in on the last lap, they are in the correct positions. And the drivers are now getting themselves prepared for the restart. But all of the drivers are in their correct starting positions. So with Tyrone Stansfield taking up his position at the front of the field, we will get the race underway again very shortly, and there will be 2 minutes and 51 seconds plus 1 lap left of the race. So it will be not a fresh restart, but they will restart in the order they were in at the red flag. Unfortunately, without Tom Massarella, which is a real shame, actually. He was doing very well in the top 6 and having won a race earlier on in the course of the season as well. Twice, in fact, because he won the final at Shennington and he won the first heat at Clay Pigeon. But Tom Massarella will take no further part in the pre-final. His kart comes back. The tyre is completely coated in grass. But other than that, I think the word on Tom Massarella is that he's okay. He just needs some medical checks, because obviously he went off at high speed on the back straight on the run up to Christmas Corner. It looks as though Tom Massarella is okay. They're literally just doing safety precaution checks to make sure that everything is hunky-dory. But that is, unfortunately, Tom Massarella out of the race in the pre-final of the 2017 series finale of the birelART UK Series. But I can tell you that while he is receiving medical treatment for safety precautions, Tom Massarella, in essence, is okay. So the racing is about to get underway again with 2 minutes and 51 seconds plus 1 lap on the clock. And it's going to be very tough because, of course, these karts have been stationary out on the back straight for the last 5 minutes or so. So the race, when it restarts, is going to be very, very tough indeed. But Stansfield will lead off from Harry Barlow. The 2 championship rivals will be first and second. The fastest lap of the race, though, has come from Harry Barlow. So he's been a whisker quicker than Tyrone Stansfield. So that sets us up for an amazing showdown in the pre-final of the final race weekend of the 2017 championship. And this is the championship fight that will go right down to the wire, as we know. Now, if Barlow were to beat Stansfield in this second race, that would, of course, take the championship fight right the way down to the finish line and of the third race. And I think that is the way it's going to happen anyway, as all of the karts are now fired up again. The engine's on. They have to keep the engine's revs high, of course. They're trying to restart all of the karts and make sure all the engines are running. But they've got to make sure that everybody is obviously running well. And that is all of the karts fired up and ready to go. So we're just waiting for a restart, I think, for Connor Brown. So Connor Brown, who for most of this season has been the leading rookie, is going to get a restart. He's going to get a manual start. And there we go. They've got his car going again. So he will take up his position in front of Tom Davison and in behind Scott Huntley. And the race will get going again with another formation lap. So the formation lap will once again give them a chance to get the karts up to speed once more and iron out any kinks. And then we'll go racing again for the last 2 minutes and 51 seconds plus 1 lap of the race. It's going to be a really interesting conclusion to this second race of the day for the Junior 100s. But I can tell you that Tom Massarella, in essence, is okay. He just needed checks for safety reasons, so that is all fine. And very good news indeed to hear that Tom is okay. Very popular man in the paddock is Tom Massarella, and he'll be more frustrated that he's missing this last part of the race than he will be concerned about any extremities he's got. But into the penultimate race of the birelART UK Series Junior 100 Championship we go. And it's Tyrone Stansfield versus Harry Barlow for the championship and for the pre-final at the front of the grid with Nicky Taylor, Harry Graham and Oliver Moy all within range. Sky Siddle in there as well. Morgan Cole, Dylan Reed, Sam Cunliffe and Zach Parkinson in the top 10 ahead of Will Martin. And it's going to be an interesting one. Toby Baldry's right up there as well, having worked his way to 12th. Here we go. Scott Huntley, Connor Brown, Tom Davison, Ben Gartside, and the rest of the field all making their way through turn 1 nice and neat. Here goes Harry Graham making the move on Nicky Taylor. Harry Graham's going for broke straight away as Harry Barlow comes round the outside of Stansfield and holds him off. Graham into 3rd place, but Stansfield leads to Barlow. Graham 3rd, Taylor 4th. Here comes Moy up the inside. Moy gets 4th. Siddle's going to try and get through to 5th. Doesn't make the cut. And off on the grass nearly, Dylan Reed trying to get through on the inside of Morgan Cole. Doesn't make the move stick. And they're all still squabbling further back as Taylor dives back on the inside of Moy. And Siddle gets through as well. Taylor through to 4th, Siddle through to 5th. So that red flag came at just the right time for Sky Siddle. She's got herself back in the action, but now Moy's through and Morgan Cole's through as well. So for Morgan Cole, again, that red flag couldn't have been better tied because he's now right back into position. But now there is a real squabble as Harry Barlow's going to try and bid for Tyrone Stansfield, but he will not make the overtaking move until he has to. Graham's going to get through on the inside. Is he? No, not quite. Goodness me, that was close. Harry Barlow trying to get the victory off Tyrone Stansfield to improve his chances in the Drivers' Championship, but he doesn't want to lose a place to Harry Graham trying to as Morgan Cole goes off. Morgan Cole has gone off there on the exit of Ashby. Oh, what a shame for Morgan Cole. Yet again, a great opportunity has gone away from him. And Morgan Cole's race is off. Oh, and Ben Gartside's got off. Ben Gartside has had an incident there with Toby Baldry. Toby Baldry down at the back of the field now. So Baldry and Gartside have come together. In fact, Morgan Cole rushing over to Ben Gartside to see if he can get him going again. How about that? Morgan Cole helping out his fellow racing driver to get back on the racetrack, and Gartside spins the kart again. What is Morgan Cole doing? He's helping out his fellow racing driver. Meanwhile, the leaders are battling away. Harry Barlow tucked in behind Stansfield. Graham and Taylor still in there as well. As Ben Gartside tries to get himself going again on the grass, but I think it's to nothing. Ben Gartside's race is over as well. What a shame. So both of them are out of luck. And Morgan Cole and Ben Gartside are out of this race. Oh, a big spin up the curbs there for Sky Siddle as she battles with Dylan Reed. Dylan Reed gets up the inside and gets the place. And as we go across the line, we have 2 laps to go. Stansfield has Barlow right underneath him. Graham's got Nicky Taylor right behind him. And Barlow's going to try. Stansfield defending like crazy. Barlow drawing alongside and trying to come right round the outside. And Barlow squeezed out wide onto the grass. Down to 4th position. Barlow will not be happy about that. Stansfield has Graham and Taylor right in there. But Stansfield was being ultra defensive on the inside line. Barlow tried to go round the outside. There was not enough room. And now Barlow has dropped down to 4th place. Moy is 5th. Reed is 6th from Siddle, Cunliffe, Cole. Sorry, no, that's Zach Parkinson. My apologies. Martin and Huntley. But now Stansfield is leading the way. Now, are the officials going to hand out a penalty of some kind? I hope they don't, because I don't think it's warranted. Stansfield defending like it was. Here it is. We're watching it on the stream. Stansfield defends to the inside. Barlow tries to go around the outside. Stansfield holds the inside line. Nothing wrong with that move at all, I don't think. I've just seen the replay. And as far as I can see, Stansfield did absolutely nothing wrong there at all. So Stansfield is looking likely to keep this race on the march with his main rival, Harry Barlow, in 4th position again. All looks good for the moment, but there's still a long way to go today. Tyrone Stansfield is going to continue on in the lead. Now, there is discussion. There is discussion with the race officials. I'm not sure what's happening, but we're going to find out as Tyrone Stansfield comes out of the final turn. The checkered flag comes down, and Stansfield wins again from Graham and Taylor. Barlow is 4th, 5th is Moy, 6th is Dylan Reed from Siddle, Cunliffe, Parkinson and Martin. Huntley is 11th in front of Davison, Whitehouse, Brown, Rigg, Ramlal ahead of Baldry and Gilmore, with sadly Morgan Cole, Ben Gartside and Tom Massarella failing to finish. Now, there is discussion with the race officials at the moment. So we're not entirely sure if that result is confirmed or not, but we'll find out. But Tyrone Stansfield, for my money, that looked as if he was okay. It was a good battle between them. And yes, there wasn't a lot of road to play with at Christmas, but I think that move is okay. Harry Barlow will feel otherwise. But it's a difficult one to call, again, because I only commentate, I don't race, so I have to call it from a very different viewpoint, and obviously the officials can see more than I can. At the moment, Stansfield is still the winner from Graham, Taylor and Barlow. Moy is 5th, Dylan Reid in 6th, right in there. Sky Siddle in 7th, ahead of Sam Cunliffe, Zach Parkinson, Will Martin, from Scott Huntley, Tom Davison, George Whitehouse and Connor Brown, ahead of Jack Rigg. Vijay Ramlal in 16th on his debut weekend. Toby Baldry 17th from Gilmore. And then our 3 non-finishers, that is, of course, Morgan Cole, Ben Gartside and Tom Massaralla. Right, attention turns now to the juniors and the showdown that everybody has been waiting to see. The junior showdown between Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow. It comes down to the last race of the season. And in pole position, it has stood. Harry Graham is the winner of the previous race. So Harry Graham will go off pole position. And it's going to be a really interesting 14 minutes plus 1 lap. Let's see who we can have a word with before we start. Obviously, we'll want to try and get a word with the 2 championship protagonists who are together on the second row of the starting grid. So let's see if we can get in there, have a quick word with Tyrone. Tyrone, the pace has definitely been there all weekend. I guess it's just crossing the T and dotting the I from your point of view.
Well, yeah, I think I just need to beat Harry to secure it, so I'm just going to drive a careful race and go from there.
And it's going to be very close. Obviously, Harry's going to be quite motivated, but you know you've got the kart and the speed underneath you to get the job done.
I mean, I'm not going to go for any silly moves and lose it and spin out or anything. I'm just going to play it careful.
Fair enough, Tyrone. Good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you. You too, Harry.
Right, let's see if we can grab a word with Harry on the other side. Harry, you said coming into this one, it's all or nothing. You have fought since the very first race of the day. A couple of 4th positions. Could still happen.
Well, my chances are quite slim right now, but just hopefully I'm going to give it everything right now, and hopefully we'll just see what happens.
But it's been really impressive to see that the 2 of you have both given it as good as you've got. It's been a great fight, right down to the wire. What a nice way to end it with a showdown.
Yeah, we've had some good battle this year, so let's just have another good battle and end it on a high.
Fantastic. Good luck, Harry.
Cheers.
Right, let's have a word with the man on the front row alongside him, Nicky Taylor. Nicky Taylor is going to be going for his first win of the season in the last race of the year. So close, Nicky, nearly there. Can it be done?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the greatest chances ever now, starting on 2nd. I mean, it helps that Tyrone had the penalty in the free final for me to move up. But, I mean, we just got to see how it goes, and hopefully we can get it, but just got to see how it goes.
And it's so close. There's about 12 drivers here on the grid who could win this final. There's been so many great racing positions all through the day. What's the difference going to be in this final, do you think?
Literally just who can be quicker in this race, and who's ever the quickest and got the best racecraft is going to win.
Fair enough, Nicky. Good luck. Have a good one. We'll try and have a word with a very tired-looking Harry Graham. It's been a long day at the office, Harry, and to be fair, you just come off the back of your first race win. Maybe not the way you wanted to do it, but still, a win is a win, and starting from the front, that must be a nice way to end the year.
Yeah, apart from being freezing cold, then, yeah, it would be nice to win one.
I think you've echoed the feelings of every single driver and person down here. I mean, you'd love to win the final race of the year, especially from the front. How tough do you think it's going to be?
Really hard, but don't know, it depends who starts battling with who at the start and if we can make a break or not.
Fair enough. Good luck, Harry, and have a great race.
Thank you.
Right, I just want to see how we are for time. I want to see if we've got time for a couple more. I think we might do, yes. Let's have a word with Oliver Moy, who's had a really strong weekend once again. Oliver, you've been battling to be the leading rookie all season long. Today, you're battling to win the whole thing.
Well, maybe, but I'm really just focusing on getting a good top 10 finish, hopefully, and finishing the race, really.
Well, it's clearly working, because you've got these 4 in front of you, quite nervous over the course of the first 2 races.
Well, yeah, I'm going to go for the front, obviously, but I think here, just keep it safe, keep it on the ground, but aim for the top 5, definitely.
Fair enough. Things have been going well so far. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Righto, let's see if we can grab a word with a few others. I just want to see if we can grab someone from the further back in the pack to see who we can push forward. Sorry, Sky. I thought you hated being interviewed anyway, Sky. Sorry. Right, Tom Massarella from the back. Well, you should really grab a word with Tom. Tom, that was not the way to end your second race. The first question, how are you after that little accident?
I'm fine.
Absolutely fine. Okay, the tyres could do with a little bit of a clean, but I'm sure you'll do that on the formation lap.
Yeah, well, our tactic is that if people see like the grass, they'll think that we're just the grass, so they won't want to like defend from us, so we'll just get past them.
I like the sound of that. It's going to be interesting watching you spring up like a jackrabbit from the back of the grid. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Right, who else? Actually, while we're talking about drivers fighting their way through from the back, Morgan Cole should be pretty feisty. Morgan, frustrating again in that race, genuinely a chance at the top 5, but from the back, I'm sure you can have absolutely incredible races out there, great battles, and there's no pressure now.
Well, there's a little bit of pressure because I've got Toby Bolger alongside me, and I just need to finish this race and hopefully ahead of him. But at the start of the year came from 19th to 7th, so hopefully I can do that again.
And obviously it's now bone dry, perfect conditions, and so many top talented drivers around you. It's all or nothing now.
Yeah, I'm just going to push with Toby and maybe Tom, but I'm just going to take it easy on the start and see what happens.
Fair enough. Good job so far, Morgan. Very well. Can we see if we can grab a word with... let's talk to the new boy who's been pretty good so far in the first weekend of his racing career in the birelART UK Series. Vijay Ramlal, good to see you, Vijay, and you've been doing quite well for a first-timer.
Yeah, it was faster than I was expected.
So obviously the way that the races have been playing out, you've been gaining in confidence and getting faster and faster as things go on. You know what you're in for next year. You still up for it?
Yeah.
Superb. Crack on, keep going. Always good to see new faces come into the championship. Let's have, we're still pointing at various people here. Let's have a word first of all with Sky, because she was so irritated. She was so irritated at not being spoken to. Sky said, again, it's been a good weekend so far because you've been able to push your way from the back towards the front, and now we're knocking on the door of the podium up the road. Do you think it's achievable?
Yeah, it could be achievable, but obviously it depends on how people drive and things like that. So. What was that all about? It's a very tough fight out there, and obviously there's drivers you've been battling with all through the season. What's the target in this last race? What are you hoping for? Probably top 5, but I'm happy with where I came in the championship. So.
Fantastic. Have you got one final message to all of these drivers that you've been swapping paint with all season?
Just good luck and do your best.
That's very nice of you. I thought you were going to be a bit more aggressive than that. Thanks, Sky. Right, who else? Let's go for Will Martin. I think we've just about got time for one more before the racing gets started, and that's Will Martin. Well, a lot of support back home and here around the circuit, of course, as well. You won the first race of the season here. Can you win the last?
We are starting in 10th, so it's going to be quite a bit of a challenge, especially if the front pack get away. But yeah, we're going to give it all we got.
And obviously there's an awful lot of very talented drivers around you, but you know the measure of them now. Any secrets you've got hidden up your sleeve?
Don't know, I have to find out.
We'll keep them there for now. Cheers, mate. Right, I'll leave the juniors to it. They're about to get ready for the action. It is going to be a sensational final race of the season. And of course, a champion will be crowned from the second row of the grid. It'll either be Tyrone Stansfield or Harry Barlow. And with the championship being so close, it literally could go either way going into this final race. As Harry Barlow himself said, his chances are slim, but they are not over. That is the crucial thing. He's got to still keep the faith, keep going for the victory, and that is the best he can hope for from this race. But Tyrone Stansfield, from his point of view, just needs to keep it on the black stuff. Just keep banging in those laps, and hopefully, by the end of it all, it will be enough. So here is your grid for the Junior 100 final. Harry Graham and Nicky Taylor from the front row of the starting grid. Tyrone Stansfield first on the road, but docked to third position. He is alongside Harry Barlow, his main rival in the championship fight. Oliver Moy and Dylan Reed on the third row. Sky Siddle and Sam Cunliffe together on the fourth row. Further back behind them into the top 10, rounding out the top 10 are Zach Parkinson and Will Martin together on row 5. Scott Huntley and Tom Davison will be together on the 6th row of the starting grid, with George Whitehouse lining up alongside Connor Brown on the 7th row. Next up in position on the 8th row of the starting grid is Jack Rigg, lining up alongside the new boy, Vijay Ramlal. Then Toby Baldry and Toby Gilmore will be together on the 9th row of the starting grid, with Morgan Cole and Ben Gartside together on row 10. And then on the 21st position on the starting grid will be Tom Massaralla, as he takes up his position at the back of the grid, hoping to get rid of the grass from his tyres and storming his way back into the top 10. Should be a very entertaining final race of the season, and of course there is a championship to decide at the same time. We still have some messages from people, some of congratulations from the cadets and some wishing the juniors well, so we'll share a few of those on the social media page. Craig McAvoy says, well done Nathan Tye Jr., watching with your old racing buddy Finley. Great race and a great victory. The engines are fired up though, and the birelART juniors are heading out onto the circuit. So Andy Cartwright wishing a message of good luck to Morgan Cole as they get themselves ready. Morgan Cole fighting his way from the back of the grid, of course. And the racing is going to be very tight all the way through to the finish line. A message of good luck too from Susan Key. Good luck, Harry Barlow. Last race of the championship. And an opportunity to win the title. It is slim, but if anyone can, Harry Barlow can. And also from Zoe Martin, watching as well. Good luck, Will. Love, Mum. As always, the message never changes, but it's always very, very appreciated, I'm sure. But there's going to be some absolutely incredible battles all the way through this race with the championship on the line. Darren Holroyd writes, good luck, Harry Barlow. And the championship battle will be from the second row of the grid, as we know. And well wishes as well from other quarters as well. Nathan Herbert writes, come on, Zach Parkinson. Zach Parkinson doing a good job in that last race and will run from the front end of the field. Mind you, he's been a bit delayed off the start. So he and Jack Rigg will now have to get themselves back into position. So he's not had the best of starts. And from one VJ to another, Vijay Anand says, good luck, Vijay. And interestingly, we now have the formation lap about to get under finishing orders. And fair play to Vijay Ramlal. He's done a good job in his first weekend in the championship. The established names are coming through to form up on the grid once again. But they might have to go round again. Yes, they will have to go round again. So the reason they have to go round again is because there are a few drivers forming up in behind. So we do have a little bit of time for a few more good luck wishes before the race actually gets underway. Bonnie Taylor, good luck next up. Watching live. Love, Mum. Always appreciated. And another bit of good luck from Nathan Herbert as he gives the ultimate good luck charm. Head down, bin it or win it. And it will be incredibly tough from the get-go. As we all know, lots of tough racing ahead of us here. And Ian Byron writes, good luck, Harry. Tough to know whether that's for Graham or Barlow, but I'm sure both of them will be appreciative of the good luck as they come into the last race of the season. On the back straight, Harry Graham from the front, Nicky Taylor alongside on the front row. Both of whom are going for their first final victory. In Nicky Taylor's case, going for his first win of the 2017 season. Stansfield and Barlow side by side on the second row for the championship. Oliver Moy and Sky Siddle together on the grid as well. Dylan Reed in there in sixth position as well. I think Sky Siddle was docked a little bit in the last race alongside Sam Cudliffe. So the last time the birelART Juniors 100 is underway, and a cracking start from Harry Graham. Tyrone Stansfield in a second position, and an appalling start for Harry Barlow. Down to sixth position he goes. Nicky Taylor's through, Oliver Moy's through, Sky Siddle's through, and Dylan Reed is threatening to come through as well. So Harry Graham leads the way in the early stages. Tyrone Stansfield second, Nicky Taylor third. Then it's Oliver Moy in front of Sky Siddle. And there is a warning already for the number 9, that's Sky Siddle. So Sky Siddle has been given a warning already. I'm not entirely sure what that's for, but Sky Siddle has obviously got herself in behind Harry Barlow, so Stansfield is second, Barlow is fifth. If it finishes like this, Stansfield will be the champion. Harry Graham leads the way, Stansfield in second, third is Taylor, fourth is Moy, and fifth is Harry Barlow in front of Sky Siddle, Dylan Reid, and the number 6 of Will Martin. Then Sam Cunliffe, Zach Parkinson, Scott Huntley, Tom Davison, George Whitehouse in there as well. And then it is Baldry from Connor Brown, Morgan Cole, Tom Massarella, Ben Gartside, Jack Rigg, Vijay Ramlal, and Toby Gilmore. So the battle definitely getting faster and faster as the race goes on, and some good battles all the way. But Harry Graham leads the battle as they go out of the left-handers up towards the back straight once again. And Harry Graham leading from Tyrone Stansfield. From Stansfield's point of view, this will do quite nicely. He doesn't care about winning, he cares about beating Harry Barlow. So this will do just fine, thank you very much. Out of the final turn and down the main straight. All going well for Harry Graham in front of Tyrone Stansfield and Nicky Taylor. But Nicky Taylor would love to finish his incredible season with a victory, and he's now closing up on Tyrone Stansfield. He actually has to ease off the throttle as they get down to Christmas, and we've got a retirement. That looks like Connor Brown. Hang on, no, it's not. Don't tell me it's Morgan Cole again. I think it might be. I think that's Morgan Cole out of the race again. It is! It is Morgan Cole! What does this boy have to do to catch a break? Absolutely unbelievable fortune he's had. And oh, how about that though? He is sporting, he raises, he gives a round of applause. I'm assuming that is to Toby Baldry. Because of course that is the man he was going up against in the championship fight. But Morgan Cole out of the race and walking away. What a disaster. Tyrone Stansfield defends from Stansfield. Siddle up the inside of Oliver Moy. There's not a lot of space to manoeuvre, and Moy defends beautifully. Here comes Dylan Reid round the far side. He's got past Will Martin, and he's now going to try for Sky Siddle. Dylan Reid doing a grand job, but can't quite get through past Sky Siddle for the moment. Absolutely incredible racing. Now, it's going to be an absolutely amazing battle all the way to the death, this one, because Harry Graham has got Tyrone Stansfield. Oh, Stansfield up the inside, Graham goes wide, and Nicky Taylor goes through as well. And there's rubbing of wheels between Parkinson and Martin in the mid-corner. But there's a new leader. Stansfield leads. Stansfield leads in front of Nicky Taylor. Harry Graham is third from Barlow. It's a terrific end to the season as far as the battle is concerned, as Taylor gives Stansfield a little bit of a rub down the back straight. And as they come towards Ashby, Stansfield is your leader, Taylor is second, Graham is third, and Barlow is fourth. Then it's Oliver Moy in front of Sky Siddle, Dylan Reid, Zach Parkinson, Sam Cunliffe and Will Martin in front of Scott Huntley and Tom Davison. Great racing all the way as Vijay Ramlal's having a bit of a battle further back with Jack Rigg. Those two are scrapping over 18th. Doesn't matter where you finish when you're a rookie, as long as you're making progress and development. And both of those two are doing so. Across the line they come again. Sam Cunliffe going for the inside line to make the move on the 65 of Parkinson. Doesn't make the move stick. But now he's coming back on the other side, and Will Martin's going to try and get in there. The leaders, meanwhile, are nose to tail. Stansfield, Taylor, Graham. There's an absolute cat scrap further back as Oliver Moy is now broken into 5th place. Sky Siddle trying to come back. Moy darting for the inside to defend. Runs a bit deep. Siddle's going to get alongside, but Moy will have the inside line for Parker. Trust the juniors to upstage the cadets in amazing style. They're certainly doing it for the moment. Stansfield, Taylor, Graham and Barlow. Moy, Siddle, Reid, Cunliffe, Martin, Parkinson and Huntley. Still an awful lot of hard work as the drivers come through out of the final turn. Moy looks back, Siddle and the rest of the chasing pack are right in there as Martin has now got past Zach Parkinson. Huntley 11th from Davison, Whitehouse, Baldry, Brown, Massarella, Gartside, Ramlal and Rigg. Gilmore is in there in 20th position, and sadly watching from the marshal's post is Morgan Cole. His season coming to a very sour end. He's done an amazing job all year. It won't be any comfort to him, but he's been incredibly impressive. As that Parkinson now gets a move on the inside of Sky Siddle and takes the place. Parkinson goes through. So now Parkinson versus Siddle, as Siddle goes for the inside of the boot and gets through. 2 wheels on the deck, 2 in the air from Sky Siddle. Absolutely incredible as they continue their battle. But it's still Stansfield, Taylor, Graham and Barlow. Barlow's going to make the move on the inside of Graham into Christmas. Thank you, and into third place. Great move there from Harry Barlow. Up into third position, chasing down Nicky Taylor. Fourth is Harry Graham. So it's all going to be strong for this final round of the championship in the juniors. The last race of the year is going to be a spectacle. Off the turn, Stansfield in front of the 117 of Taylor. Barlow now third in front of Harry Graham. It looks as if it'll be the two title protagonists and Nicky Taylor who will battle for the win. Meanwhile, great scrap further back as Cunliffe, Reed and Martin are scrapping away behind Oliver Moy. Sky Siddle trying to keep up with them. Zach Parkinson, Scott Huntley, Tom Davison, Toby Baldry, Connor Brown and Tom Massarella in the mix as well. But what a dramatic end to the season this is going to be. Tyrone Stansfield in front of everybody, leading the way. Nicky Taylor in second position. Third place belongs to Harry Barlow at the moment in front of Harry Graham. But who's going to follow Nathan Tye to the top step of the podium? It's unclear at the moment. Four of them fighting for it. So many of them fighting for fifth position further back as Oliver Moy looks behind him. And Sam Cunliffe is going to make the move. Contact! Contact! Cunliffe and Moy have come together. And that's their seasons both over pretty much in terms of their battle for the top six. It's all done and dusted. And that's put Dylan Reed up into fifth place in front of Will Martin, Sky Siddle and Zach Parkinson. Well, it's racing. I don't want to say one driver was to blame over another. We should get a replay of that, but it was a really close battle. Let's look. Cunliffe had the move on the inside line. Cunliffe was there turning in. They just banged wheels. So easy to do. But I wonder, was that Moy not surrendering the corner? Cunliffe was far enough alongside. I think he really would have got that battle done. So a really incredible run to the season. And there's a mechanical flag for Oliver Moy. He's got too much damage. So I think that means that Oliver Moy's season is now officially over, because Oliver Moy will still keep racing, tucked in behind Sam Cunliffe. But I'm afraid to say that it's too much for Oliver Moy, and Moy shakes his head in disbelief as he comes through. Meanwhile, Barlow has got past Nicky Taylor. Barlow has got past Nicky Taylor and into second position. The messages still coming in. Andy Cartwright, unlucky to Morgan Cole. What can you do? It is motor racing. You have to take the rough with the smooth, and Harry Barlow is doing just that right now. Up to second position. This is the highest he's run all weekend. Running in front of Tyrone Stansfield is the objective. He's got to try and close up on his main opposition. A victory in the final is obviously worthy of more points. In the final, a victory is worth 130 compared to 127 in the second position spot. 3 points all is not going to be enough. He knows that, but he still wants to beat Tyrone Stansfield in the championship hunt. It's going to be so tight and so close. But it looks to me as though even if Harry Barlow were to overtake Tyrone Stansfield, if Tyrone just sat behind him for the whole race, I think that would be enough still for Stansfield to win the championship. But it's great to see the two championship rivals battling for first and second in the final race of the season. So Stansfield and Barlow still battling away, still giving it gusto out of Christmas. And Harry Barlow right on the back of his main championship rival. Will he go for Tyrone Stansfield? He's got to be careful because Nicky Taylor is right behind them both. And from Nicky's point of view, he knows, well, those two are fighting for the championship. I don't really care if they hit each other. I'll get the win if they take each other out. But I don't think that's the way Tyrone and Harry will play it. They are good friends off the circuit. There is a good amount of mutual respect between them, as there is amongst most racers, actually, in the birelART UK Series paddock. They do have a genuine respect for each other as racing drivers. So I think that is going to be the way that this final will play out. They will race each other. They will not be brutal with each other. They are gentlemen, they are sportsmen, and they are racers. And it's always good to see that. Still good well wishes from the drivers as they run around the circuit. Joe Patterson says Tyrone looks like a mini-me in a kart. He does to a certain degree, actually. Sky Siddle has just got past Dylan Reed for P5. So Dylan Reed has dropped down a position, but still P5 would not be bad, and that's his target. Harry Graham still there in 4th position, not quite able to run at the same pace as the leaders. Now, a couple of drivers are giving their opinions as to what happened. Apparently, Oliver Moy and Sam Cunliffe, that incident discussed by Nathan Herbert, who says Oliver Moy should have given the space. Up the inside goes Harry Barlow. Barlow takes the lead from Tyrone Stansfield. So Barlow takes the lead at exactly the right moment. And how about that? Hannah and Jamie watching at home. Yes, Harry Barlow. And he takes the lead at exactly the right moment. So Barlow now in front of his main championship opposition, Tyrone Stansfield. It will be a nice way to end the season if Harry Barlow can get the victory. He looks back. Where's Nicky? Where's Tyrone? But now that Harry is in the lead, he's doing an absolutely sensational job, leading the race in fine style. And as they come across the line, it's Barlow, Stansfield and Taylor. Graham is there in 4th position. Siddle in P5. Come on, Harry Barlow. Susan Key is rooting for you as they come up Manuel's Bank once again. Into the hairpin. Round to the left kink and up towards Inkermans. On the way to the hairpin at Ashby. Surely this is going to be the closest fight for a race victory we've seen in the Junior 100s this year. The title fight will come right the way down to the wire. Absolutely amazing as Barlow, Stansfield and Taylor again run together. Stansfield still giving a massive pressure to Harry Barlow. This is a superb performance from all 3 of our leaders. Harry Barlow, Tyrone Stansfield, and of course Nicky Taylor. Harry Graham still in the fight as well. Chris Cox says, go on Harry, push, push, push now. But Tyrone Stansfield is right underneath him. Harry Barlow electing to go defensive. If he backs Tyrone Stansfield into Nicky Taylor, then he might get some support from Nicky Taylor, but Nicky couldn't care less about either of the 2 men in front. He wants to win his last race of the season. Absolutely sensational racing here in the final round of the championship. And the 3 leaders are stretching out an advantage over everybody else as Stansfield goes back to the inside and takes the place from Barlow. Nicky Taylor repeats the move, drifts out wide. Can Harry Barlow get himself back on the inside? No, he can't. Nicky Taylor up to 2nd place. And we're going into the penultimate lap. Pretty much now, I think it will be tight to know whether this is going to be the penultimate lap or the last lap but 2. But Nicky Taylor now right on the back of Tyrone Stansfield. Let's have a look at how Tyrone did that. Up the inside. Thank you very much. That's a textbook move. And Nicky Taylor went, right, that's a gap. Boom, I'm going to take it. Thank you very much. And into 2nd place he goes. And here on the last lap, it's going to be right to the death. Good battles further back as Zach Parkinson and Will Martin are still scrapping away. But the leading 3 are about to come into the closing stages of this race. There's a few seconds on the clock. I think we'll get 2 laps in, you know. Yes, we will. 2 laps to go. And Nicky Taylor right underneath Tyrone Stansfield. He's got another chance now. He's come so close this season to win. Barlow's got a good run on Nicky Taylor up into Christmas, and he's through. So Harry Barlow gets back in a 2nd position. Behind them, it's Graham, Siddle, Reed, Parkinson, Martin, Davison and Huntley. Brown in 11th from Massarella up to 12th. Then it's Whitehouse, Baldry, Garside, Cunliffe, Rigg, Ramlal, Gilmore. And then we have our 2 retirements in Oliver Moy and Morgan Cole. But we are out of time, which means going into this lap, it will be the last lap. Amazing race this has been. And there's 1 more lap to decide the race and the championship. Last lap. Stansfield is going to win the championship with a victory if he stays where he is. Harry Barlow's going to push him right to the last. It's been clean, it's been hard, it's been fair, but it's going to go to the last lap of the last race of the last weekend. Here we go. Tyrone Stansfield in front of Harry Barlow as they come to Ashby. Barlow's going to try. He ducks it to the inside. Stansfield runs deep. Nicky Taylor's alongside Barlow. Goes round the outside and takes 2nd place. What a move from Nicky Taylor. We're not done yet. Stansfield looking a little bit twitchy. Nicky Taylor has 1 last chance to make a play of it. But I think that's going to be all she wrote. Taylor's going to try one last time on the inside. It won't happen. Stansfield has one hand in the air. He knows he's done it. Stansfield wins, and he is the champion. Tyrone Stansfield is the 2017 birelART Juniors champion. Absolutely fantastic. And how about that, as they run around on the floor on the slowing down lap, he congratulates Harry Barlow. Barlow congratulates him. What a clean, hard, fair fight to the end of the season. Terrific. Stansfield from Taylor and Barlow. That's a wonderful way to end the season. How close has it been in the juniors right from the get-go? 3 different winners in the first 3 races of the year, and a showdown like that at the end of it. Absolutely brilliant. Tyrone Stansfield, Nicky Taylor and Harry Barlow will be on the last podium of the season, and that will take them into the winter with so much confidence. Absolutely brilliant racing here at Whilton Mill. We knew they'd save the best till last. We knew it was going to be a close title fight, and we knew that these guys were going to give their all or nothing, and they certainly did that. Terrific end to the season. It's a victory for Tyrone Stansfield from Nicky Taylor and Harry Barlow. Harry Barlow concedes the championship to Tyrone Stansfield at the end, but he did it with honour, with dignity, and so much gusto. And there is still camaraderie between the two of them. I am so glad the season ended the right way, the right way. Great battling all season long. Sky Siddle and Dylan Reed shake hands after an amazingly close battle to the end. But that is it. I'm very sad to say the Junior 100 season is over, but I'm very happy to say it ended the right way. Tyrone Stansfield, let's go and grab him. Tyrone, it's been an incredibly long season, but after all of that, you've done it. You are the birelART UK Junior Champion. How do you feel?
I feel amazing, you know, going into that race, I knew I had a good chance of winning it, but Harry all season long has been pressuring me, so I well done to him for coming second, but it's been very close all season.
And what a way to end it as well, with your 9th win of the season, and 10th win of the season, sorry. An absolutely fantastic display, and a great way to go into the winter.
Oh yeah, I didn't really want to settle for a second or anything, I wanted to go for the win, you know, to end it on a high, so yeah. So I get a trophy for first here and then the presentation evening. I get another first place for that. So yeah.
Well, it's all done and dusted. Tyrone Stansfield, champion 2017. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
And there is Tom Massarella, his friend. And how about that? Harry Barlow and Tyrone Stansfield embrace after a great season. Let's get a word with Harry. Harry, you said yesterday, this is all or nothing for me. We saw that out there. You really pushed it. But what a fantastic race to end the year.
Yeah, it's been a great year. We've had some up and downs, but in the good times, they've been really consistent and out there, gave it my all from the last junior race, and hopefully I can keep it on a high for next year in senior lights. Cheers. A great battle to the end of the year, and what a way to go into the. And you must be very happy with that. And to take that runner-up spot to the Super Elites next year, I think Sam Faulkner better watch his back. Well, because I don't want to be acting too confident, but yeah, second isn't really what I wanted, but just have to get on with it and fight hard next year once again. Good fight, mate, and great racing right to the end. Well done. Cheers, Jake. Right, let's see who else we can grab a word. Well, I'm not sure we've got time actually to grab a word. I think everybody's disappeared. I think Nicky Taylor's still chatting away. So we will catch up with the rest of the drivers hopefully in the off-season. Obviously, we've got a lot of interviews left over from yesterday, but I want to dash down to the Super Elites grid. I want to make sure we can talk to a few of the drivers from the Super Elites. But what a nice way to end the season. A great, no-holds-barred, wheel-to-wheel battle between Tyrone Stansfield and Harry Barlow. Clean, firm and fair all the way. And a worthy champion crowned in Tyrone Stansfield. It would have been a worthy champion either way, but an absolutely fantastic battle right from the get-go.